Coming up on today's Retro Robbins show, we've got news, we got new reviews, we got re-reviews, we got new views. Well, it just sort of fitted in and rhymed. We got Commodore versus Spectrum, and we got a whole lot of me. So join me now on the Retro Robbins show. Hello and welcome to the Retro Robbins show, a show run on real hardware with me, Wayne. And of course on today's show we're going to have a look at a new game for 2020 that was, and towards it could be 2021, I ain't 100% sure, so don't quote me on that as always. We're going to re-review, we're going to look at some new reviews, and of course we're going to have some more Commodore versus Spectrum. Also on today's show we got a bit of sad news that the Retro Shed are doing their final show. Now, to be fair, it's good to have loads of people doing different types of content on YouTube to do with, shall we say, junior days where we all had our Commodore Spectrums, BBC Micro. Didn't matter really which system, but it was a way of keeping our nostalgia alive, our childhood if you like, bringing back those memories and perhaps taking some of these systems, like the Next itself, into the future with us. So whenever we hear of a YouTuber who is giving it a day, it's kind of sad really, but they have got some great shows, so please offer your support. Watch a few of their videos, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I know they're probably going to call it a day, but if they get enough subscribers and enough support, maybe they'll stay. And there's maybe something in every show for everybody. For instance, I watch a lot of Kim Justice and I watch Nostalgia Nerd, and I'd hate to see them put their last show in. I also watch a little bit of 42 and his fact-based program, which is really entertaining. Maybe not so much, some of his jokes aren't all that good, but you never know. Right then, on to with today's show, and of course, as always, we'll be using re-reviews from that particular Crash magazine. You can see their number. Oh, it's £1.60, April 1989. I'll make the literature myself. Number 63, couldn't see it from there. Zooming in. Autofocus is going to not play me up today. And we're going to have a look at one or two of the games in here that didn't make a Crash Smash and re-review them. And then we're going to have a look at a new game before, as I said earlier, we move on to Commodore versus Spectrum. And as always, if you like my show, please remember to like, subscribe and share. So, let's move on to the first, oops, knocking the camera, re-review. So the first game we're going to look at is this particular one. Presentation was given 79%. The graphics was given 78%. The sound, so that means it must have really good sound, was quite a high rating at 79%. It's very rare that Crash gives sound ratings quite high. Playability 81%, addictive qualities, some ratings in here today. 82%, its overall rating was 82%. That's a total of 6 different ratings, and of course on Retro Robbins, as you all know by now, I do a rating system from a marks out of 10 perspective, not a percentage based one, just to simplify the whole matters. So let's have a look at the game. By Houston, and of course its retail price was $7.99 on cassette and $12.99 on disc. The author was John Wildsmith. That sounds good. Okay. Moving straight into this game, we're going to go for the tap file. And there's the loading screen. Very nice indeed. Quality loading screen. Not bad sound either. Although I could probably do it in touch, eh? Well, the first impression I see is you've got a nice, there you go, the guy's name of author is on there. Nice little Hall of Fame, so there's your high scores will be displayed quite there. And I can see why it's got a high rating on sound, it is pretty good. And straight away I'm going to get straight into it. It's a nice fast scrolling game, isn't it? Oh, meant to fly between the bricks and then brick wall. So far the keys are OP and space to fire. Although because I'm using a rubber keyboard, I'd have preferred M, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, eh? Oh, I meant to destroy some of them, I think. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Oh. There must be a way of going up and down that I am not well aware of yet, so see if I've got any more keys. Unless you're going to just blow your way through them. Yeah, there you go. So you don't start from the very start, you actually start from where roughly you died. That's good. I've got to be honest, I quite enjoyed that. Yeah, I might give that a bigger play. So what am I going to say about this rate? We'll definitely agree with Crash on that one. Sound was really good. They gave it an overall rating at 82%. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Which is just a little bit more than Crash, but yeah, it's been done before obviously, but has it been done as well? Who knows? So we're going to move on to the next game for today. Let me just pause this. So the next game we're going to review is an Elite release, and of course we're going to have a look at this one. You'll see the logo on screen in a minute. I think it's a 128K released version. Ah, I've pressed the wrong button. Oh well, this is a live show. Let's try again, shall we? Back we go, back to my files. Yeah, that's why I wanted to use that tap file. Can't seem to get that to work on my clone at the moment. I don't know what I've done wrong. I've got everything right in the Raspberry Pi, but yeah, there's the loading screen, there's the name of the game, and of course let's give you the percentage back in 1989. So the presentation was given 52%, the graphics was given 72%, the sound was given 70%, that's reasonable. Playability was given 65%, addictive quality is only 50%, so it's got quite a low to medium rating. Overall rating 57%. Of course it was by Elite, dual vision. Cassette was £8.99. And the disc was £12.99, so we've got a bit of a theme. The discs are sort of regulated the price here. And the author was Stuart Scott. Don't know much about that particular coder, but we'll have to do a bit of research on him. Do you wish to use joystick? Yeah. Press fire. Okay. Better plug my joystick in that case then, hadn't I? 2 minutes while I get this game working, and why have I got a wire in front of my screen? Oh, things keep coming loose. So there we go, ready to get going. Speed up. So you've got your Kempston joystick for the first 5 controls, but then you've got to use extra keys to do extra functions. Yeah. So then we're going to stick with sticking to a planet. We'll keep it simple. Don't know what's going on, but I'm trying to work it out. Well, we must be arriving somewhere. Okay. Oh, I see. So you can move that up and down, almost like a tanks thing, but in space. So. I've hit it because I can thrust up. Now hopefully we should be able to move forwards. I can see the dots behind me because that arrow at the bottom there indicates where they are. And I'm holding down for, so they should be target about now. I think I've got to say it is quite nice. Yeah, it's quite nice. I've managed to get that again back in target. I'm finding it really difficult to. But here, oh, something flew past me to find out how to. Doesn't seem to have any visual indications that you are speeding up or slowing down. But apart from that dot that appears by the arrow just down there, which I can hear firing at me, and if I come round any minute now, he should be back in view. There he is. Oh good, you can rapid fire. Oh, what's he firing at me here? Is that their missiles, is it? You know, it's not really great graphically, but I think if you fire above them, see, it's sort of confusing because you actually fire above them to hit them slightly. Okay, well I think we can come to a conclusion here. There we go, we've wiped them out. So, yeah, okay. Done. Okay. Right then, what do I think of that game? Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, is I'll show you what happens when I die. Because there's more to this game than just what you've seen here. It's okay, your different levels are varied. I wouldn't say it's anything out of the ordinary. Just kind of confusing, you've sort of got to fire slightly above them to hit them. Anyway, let's commit suicide. Means I'm going to crash my ship into that. Sorry about me knocking the camera. So I'm just ramming these ships. Aiming now, I should be dead. Well, that is you dead. And it seems an unusually jolly tune for you dying. It's worth dying just for that, to be fair. There's the main tune. The tunes are quite good, actually. It's probably better than the game, in my opinion. I'll tell you what I do like though. Coming up now, hardly going to have the demo scene quaking in their boots, but it does have a good little demo. Oops. I'll knock that wire back in the way, do I? Come on then, get on with the demo. And now you'll see something coming in. Basically get that sign sort of floating around in different ways, spelling out the name of the game. And while it's doing that, let's give me a rating, shall we? Okay. Overall rating by Crash in 1989 was 57%. Yeah, it's a little bit slow moving. You can't tell whether you're accelerating or decelerating very clearly. You can only do that by prediction of how fast you're approaching the ships or not. But there's various tasks you've got to do on each one of the planes before you get to the main part. I'm loving the demo, to be fair. Simple but good. Okay, I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. Maybe one you haven't seen before, maybe perhaps each one for you to try. So, with that to do, let's move on to the last of today's re-reviews before we have a look at something new. And we'll go into my files. So the game we're going to have a look at today is called Blasteroids. What can I tell you about this game? Imagineworks was the producer. It was $9.99 on cassette and $14.99 on disc, which is quite expensive to say the least. And of course, the rating was presentation 68%, graphics 65%, sound 69%. Now that's a percent less than the last game I've just seen, which I thought had good sound out of the game, but no real sound in the game, which was a shame. I like it when they put games in the game itself, sound in the game itself. For instance, something like Amorozzi with a spooky sound wouldn't be the same without it. The same with Alvida St. Monty. Playability 76%, addictive quality 70%, overall rating, well, it's quite high, 73%. And the game we're talking about is Blasteroids, so let's go and find a working tab file for that. Whoops. Oh, I hate that beep noise. Hopefully we'll get to see the loading screen. Briefly. It was briefly as well. I needed to slow down the sequence of that loading, didn't I? I should have... never mind, that's not what we need to do. Have a look at the game itself. Well, we're going to go for the Gemston joystick. Thank you. And press space to start. Quite a loud sound, isn't it? Run out of cans, I've got to use a bottle. We've all seen this game before where you've got to shoot rocks and circle in a space, so let's just have a look at the version of this, Blasteroids on the Spectrum. Oh, we're going for easy wall paint. Yeah, we'll select the easy one. Have a bit of A-boy sound. We don't just put up with the shooting of it, do we? Is that a power up? Oh, you can bounce off the rocks on this one. Control's quite nice. Graphically it's quite nice. Oh, well, you can get bigger and smaller. I'll have to land, do I? Oh, that's quite good actually. I've actually managed to survive the first bit of the game. It's always a blessing in disguise. Oh, I see, you choose these sections, do you? Okay, let's try that one. Oh, we got a... Oh, you can't destroy that. Okay, let's get out of the way. I like the way you can get bigger as well as smaller. Oh look, you can be in two places at once. Insert credits. Do you want my shirt? Always use a rubber. Somebody said, nice t-shirt. Pity your dad didn't. Cheers. Right, what are we going to say about that one? Well, let's get back to my literature. Overall 73%, well, effectively 7 out of 10. I think I'm going to give it exactly the same, 7 out of 10, and that's today's review on that one. So let's move on to something new. Shut up, you. Right, a game I want to have a look at that's just come out. Oh. I love it when my system crashes because I pressed the wrong button. It's great, isn't it? Oh, look at that for a colourful display. Oh dear, going to reboot it all. How's that? Right, with the magic of editing, let's get straight to the game. So, this game released, I'm going to use the 128K version, you've all probably seen it. I think it's got... So, a brief look at the loading screen there. I'm not going to go through all of this, but it basically tells you the story and... those are the things you've got to try and shoot or use a fault to stat. Basically, this is just building up a theme to the game, so when you get into the game you feel like you've got more of an adventure going on. It's very good. And okay, so let's get into the game itself to give it a light mini review. Difficulty level, well, we want that on extremely hard because I'm really good. We're going to go for Kempston and press fire to play. Right, first thing you can see, it's sort of like a map, almost done in the way you've kind of get your Duke Nukem type Doom games. I was never any good at these sort of games. You click 2 of them before you can open the first door. And then hopefully you can go with the map, which shows you where you are there. Now when I get into the right place, that's all you've got to attack the monsters with, and you'll get one. That door opens. Let's have some music on, shall we? I'm about to get into the first section. There you go. That's where you have arrived. And there's your first dangerous creature. And I find it almost impossible to hit them because he moves too quick. Finally got to him after losing a bit of my shield, but yeah, nevertheless. I presume that's dangerously type acid type rain. Oh. There's 2 of them for me to put up with, is there? I'll tell you what, I've done really well there. So we need to look at the map. Map, please. Obviously we've got to go all the way along there towards that end. But in order to do that you need to open various gates. Let's get rid of the map. Oh, I'm not going to get him, am I? I'm going to die, look. Oh, there's something else as well. Where is he? I thought I killed you. Shouldn't mess with a pitchfork. Oh, you're going to collect another 2 of them, I presume. That's right. Before I can get through to the next section. Again, they just keep coming, don't they? Run for it, you coward. Coward! Oh. Enough already. Okay, I died. What do I think? Sorry, we need to do something about this. It's hard to say. I like it. It's colourful to a degree where it sort of become. I don't like the blockiness of the. I know it's hard with the limitations of the spectrum to get around that, but I don't like the blockiness of that particular sort of thing. If it was just like straight lines and you was going down a maze and maybe put a bit of colour in there, then I don't know whether they can do that. Probably not. It would look better sort of like as a maze. But when you get blocky edge and blocky edge coming towards you, and another blocky edge and another blocky edge, it confuses you a little bit. Trying to do that sort of game on a Spectrum is quite difficult, but yeah, it's alright. I'm gonna go against popular decision. I'm not gonna say it's one of my favourites. You know, I'd rather play something I really enjoy, like Wheelie or something like that. But this is only opinion, not my opinion, maybe not yours. I'm going to give that. I'm I'm going to give that 6 out of 10. I like the overall starting and everything like that, but that's my opinion, and you don't have to agree with it. But by all means, it's available for download now. Give it a go. Tip the producer. To me, it's a good effort. It's not brilliant, but yeah. And that's that one. So let's move on to our Commodore versus Spectrum. Just caught me having a cup of tea. Right, the game we're going to compare, we're going to start with the Spectrum version this week, is Grislaw. Listen to that AY sound, loud and proud. We turn it up a touch. Yeah. Oh, it's maximum volume. Put a limiter on it so I can't get too loud. Pardon? Good thing is we can redefine the keys. I'm used to putting left before right, and sometimes when that comes up it gets it the other way round. We're going to have fire, and we want something for jump. Obviously it's an Ocean Classic game written by Paul Owens, and yeah, it's a great arcade conversion. So let's have a look at the Spectrum version before we move on to the Commodore version. As you remember, in the last episode Commodore did a double whammy against the Spectrum, and we've got some catching up to do, but you know, I've got to judge these things fairly, and there's a game suggested I should do, but I do these things by random, and occasionally I would like to go for the classics as well, and this is one of those classics. Oh, I thought I jumped and then I realised I died. Haha. Oh no. Oh, I hate this game. Die, you horrible people. I thought I jumped over that bullet. How to lose as many lives as you can on the first level by Retro Robbins. Did I avoid them 2 bullets? It's like weaving through lasers, gonna die. I made it off the first bit, and we're on to the next level. And believe me, I've got to jump out. Oh yes, have it. Failed, I have. Failed! Oh, well, that doesn't surprise you. It doesn't surprise me either. Let's have a look at the Commodore version. Get ready, player one. Target practice. I don't want target practice. Target practice for them, not me. Oh, that didn't happen on the Spectrum. Gonna have another go. Try again. Oh, I need somewhere to rest my joystick. Why won't it fire downwards? Oh, I see, they're blowing up the bridge. That did happen on the Spectrum version. It's just like, I managed to avoid it. Don't die! wait to the end bit. I want to just... Oh, life. Oh, you know what? Well, I find the Spectrum one a bit easier to play. But I'm sort of torn. I don't know which way to go. I mean, between the graphics, there isn't much in it. I like the Spectrum sprites better. They look a bit more clearly defined. Obviously, they're not using as many colours, but they look sharper, less blocky, and it scrolls as smooth as this one does. This one just seems a bit faster. This is a tough one. Which one's the better version? I'm going to do it via the sound. Which sound do I prefer? Well, here comes my verdict. Definitely, I think the AY sound is better than the SID sound on this occasion. More clearly defined, nice sharp sound. Gameplay wise, I found the Spectrum one easier. Graphically, Commodore slightly on certain parts. There's a little bit more to certain areas. But overall, I think Gry's Law for the Spectrum is better. On this occasion, Spectrum 1. Should we go for one more? Why not? More Commodore versus Spectrum. So, let's go into my vast files. Next game we're going to have a look between the two is Gauntlets. Nice loading screen there by the Spectrum. And that's probably about all the music you get in it, so... And this was suggested, so I haven't picked this one at random, he mixed a one off, but somebody says let's compare the two, so why not? 1985, and we'll get into this game and we'll have a look at this compared to the Commodore. I'm just choosing my player, which I'm going to choose him. I like the Magician. Just selecting the controls, loading the game, and then press fire to play. And of course with the joystick you have to use caps. I'm right enough already. Did have a cheat for this, didn't I? I think it was symbol shift to walk through the walls, weren't it, or something like that. On one of the particular games. Have I got my auto fire on? Run! You're losing lots of health. It's best just to get in one area, isn't it? And let them all come and attack you, isn't it? And I need to get rid of them, don't I? Because that's where they're coming from, so... Let's get in line. Get the wheels in line! Get the wheels in line! Yeah, there's one down. Two down. Get some health. Oh. Run! Run, Forrest! I want to get that food. Oh, let's destroy them all. Health. Health. Health means wealth. Exit to that zone. I don't know if I'm shooting them or just letting them run into me. Loads of mazes, aren't there, for this game? Hurry up! did I do? I don't know. Was I meant to not let him die? Oh, what's that thing pointing at me? Okay, let's have another Commodore version. And there's a loading screen for the Commodore version, very colourful. No, actually, this is a loading screen for the Commodore version. Still got a fair way to go. There's not going to be. I like the gauntlet itself. Press space to continue. Okay. Oh, space. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we have to load each bit at each time, just like the Spectrum version, except I've got the tab file on the Spectrum version, and I'm able to do it a little bit quicker, so we're going to wait a while before we can get into the game. So we're going to choose one of these, which I have no idea which one to do. I usually go for Merlin. I don't know why. I'm just like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. It was good. I enjoyed it. Just got to stop knocking the camera. One player. Choose your player. Easy wizzy wizzy. Let's get Retro Robbins busy. And we start loading another part of the game. See, the Spectrum version does all this in one go. When the game's loaded. And then you just load the sections. We might be here a while. Why are we waiting? This is irritating. Today's computer of choice, of course, I might as well tell you, is the Engo clone of the Next, which I'm not a traitor for having. I have backed the Kickstarter for the Next as well, so I'm looking forward to that, and that will be my priority of choice. But at the moment I'm using this. Also in the background you've got the lovely Spectrum 128K toast rack, and combined with the Omni 128K, sharing it today in turn to provide the background music, which is all good. Oh, you can't beat a bit of AY, and you can't beat a bit of 8-bit. Still waiting. How much more we got to go? Magnifying glass. Magnify. I don't know. 2 seconds. Okay, we're at 96%, which means we should have some quality time loading this game. And as always, don't forget, if you like my show and you want to see more content like this, please remember to like, subscribe and share. Press any key to continue. And rewind to sign time. What? Told you we could be here a while. Press fire. Oh, straight in. Can we go back to some music? This reminds me, I'm going to get me Christmas shopping, because it'll soon be Christmas. 5 sections just to get into the game. I'm not going to judge it on that though. I mean, to be fair, it's the way it could be saving memory by getting rid of the bits that it doesn't need, just keeping the values. In other words, you input in what player you want, whether you want joystick or keys, and then moving on to the next, so it only needs to remember that part rather than keep all that extra data on screen, which is, I suppose, is a way of saving memory and getting on with the main game itself. But with the power of editing, we will get no further than this if we don't do something about it. See if I can zoom to the game. Finally, we're in the game. Okay. Well, the exit's not as clearly defined, but I'll tell you what, the colours are nice. Scrolling's a little bit better, isn't it, on the Spectrum? No, actually it's better on the Commodore, it's smoother. Better get some food. Anyway, I'm just going to run through it today. Oh yes, of course, we've got to load the next section. Did we have to do that on the Spectrum? We got to level 8. Slightly different to the Spectrum version, isn't it? This is where I died. Well, there's a... Well, I'm going to go for... They're a bit blocky, these graphics. They're colourful, but they're blocky. So, here comes my decision. Yeah, I've got to go for the Spectrum version again. So on this time, it's just as colourful. It's nicely done. It's easy to play. The scrolling isn't as good, but it didn't take that long to get the game loaded and actually play it compared to the Commodore version, which seems to take forever. However, I can understand why they've done that, because the Commodore 64 notoriously didn't have 64K of memory. Obviously a lot of that was used up. Pretty much like the Spectrum didn't truly have a full 48K of memory either, because you've got some of that used up. However, I just preferred playing the Spectrum version. There wasn't any synth sound in it to choose of. There wasn't any background music. The tunes on both of them was equally as good, except the Spectrum one was done with the Believer because it was back in that day. So on this occasion I've gave this one for the Spectrum, so it's a double whammy for the Spectrum, and I didn't see that coming. And as you can see, why? So remember, this is only a matter of opinion, and I know that Commodore probably still hold a narrow lead, and indeed it is a narrow lead. It's a shame. In the meantime, thank you for watching from Wayne, Retro Robbins of course. Hope you like. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and tick the like box and ring a bell if you want to see more videos of this content, and I'll do some more videos for you in future. In the meantime, everyone keep safe, have a nice working week or weekend, but for me, it's bye for now, and thanks for watching. Oh look, hang on, I've got to do a funny turn. I do love a rotating chair, and at least I didn't knock anything on the floor like a joystick this week.